Alice Through the Looking Glass is the first sequel of a live-action adaptation of a Disney animated film, I guess. Even though the first one was sort of a sequel, it was really weird. In this, Alice returns to Wonderland and the Mad Hatter is not himself, because he thinks his family is alive, but nobody believes him. So Alice needs to steal a chronosphere so she can go back in time to see what happened to his family. And if they did die, prevent that from happening. To get the chronosphere, she has to go meet Time himself, a character that I enjoyed the most out of the movie. And there's a lot of time puns. So Alice gets this chronosphere so she goes back to these events leading to what happened to the Mad Hatter's family. And it feels very much like a road trip time travel movie. And I like time travel movies, but I was really bored with this one. I think the most interesting part of the movie is Time's fortress. It looked really neat and was very creative. But once we travel back in time to these locations and events, they feel very, very boring. It doesn't feel like Wonderland at all. And it's like that throughout the entire middle of the movie. Then we get to the end where this catastrophic thing happens, which is actually pretty cool, and almost kind of too scary for kids. But those are the only two things I really found that interesting about it. The rest of it, I just felt like I wanted to go to sleep. And all of the Wonderland characters are there, like the Cheshire Cat, the March Hare, and everybody, but it feels like they were obligated to put them in there. So you just have this group that's like, okay, here's all the characters just in one place all of the time. And when they go back in time, they explain like the origins of things that happened, like how the Red Queen's head got so big. And the explanation for it is really, really dumb. All it was is that she just hit her head. Okay. You would think that the origin of that would be like, she got so mad one day, her head just expanded. And there are animal characters in the past with Wonderland, but they feel like they're just citizens, and like, it doesn't really feel like Wonderland. That's the thing, it doesn't feel like a wondrous place. The only time it actually felt like that is when you're in Time's fortress. It actually feels different. When you're in past Wonderland, it just feels like you're in past Britain, just with animal characters inserted. If there's one word I can use to describe this movie, it's boring. It's just really boring. I've never fallen asleep in a movie since I was really young, but I wanted to during this one. Though it didn't help that I was playing Overwatch all night the night before. But still, usually a movie can keep me entertained enough to where I'll keep watching it, and granted, I did keep watching it, I didn't fall asleep, but still, it was really boring. Hell, I'll even say the new Jungle Book was more exciting than this. This movie was boring and forgettable, which is disappointing because I actually saw some potential in there. At one point, I thought the Mad Hatter was going to go evil, which would have been a pretty interesting twist on things, but then they fall back on the first villain with the Red Queen. I have no idea how accurate these movies are to the books, but I'm guessing not that accurate. So those are my thoughts on Alice Through the Looking Glass. If you've seen it, tell me what you thought down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to take